Okay, this video is to Decentralized by Guilt. This is specifically to you. Anybody else watching, watch or don't watch, I don't care. This is to Decentralized by Guilt. I didn't know anything about you. I'd seen a couple of your comments you've made on my videos here and there. And then this last video I made on the Marmo threat, playing along with that, and you got so frickin' nasty to me. I don't know where you get off. I'm gonna tell you, you pissed me off. All right, you're on my shit list, and I know you can say big fucking deal. I'm not playing. I don't mean that like I'm some kind of internet tough guy or anything like that, because I don't believe in that bullshit either. All right, you pissed me off. I think looking at your videos, looking through your video library, watching some of your vids, I think you would have found that we actually had a lot in common, even though we may disagree on some fundamental points. We actually, I am familiar with a lot of the stuff that you discuss. I think we could have engaged in lively, interesting discussion. And instead you approached me like some fucking asshole. Threats. What was that? I mean, I have never in my life come so close to not approving a video response. Not because I don't of anything in the content, but because of the fact that you ordered me to, called me an asshole. You started insulting me. You called me stupid. I just don't know where you get off. I'm going to tell you something here. This is where, of all of the things, and it has nothing to do with your philosophy, your beliefs, or anything else. The one thing about you that makes me know that you're a fucking piece of shit is that anybody who comes up and starts off a discussion with me telling me what I believe can really go fuck off and die, okay? I mean, I don't even get that. I mean, I deal, in my opinion, with what some of the nastiest people on YouTube, all right? I mean, some of these ignorant, inbred, racist, homophobic pieces of shit that I deal with occasionally, others do too, and I don't approach them with as much disrespect as you approached me. I mean, I know you've got this thing with Variable, okay? You have that thing with him. That has nothing to do with me. All right? I made a response. I am playing it. I think that his motivation's different than you seem to think it is. Okay? You're playing this game, substitute Muslim with Marmoset, and he's suddenly a race. You've done that. Okay? Fine. You know what? He's made videos about porn as well, educational porn. Let's substitute porn for Nazi death camps. Oh my God, Varioblast is all pro-Nazi death camp. In fact, he wants us to make educational pro-Nazi death camp videos. Did you hear? Isn't that easy? Easy to do? Little substitution game, you ignorant fucktard. And I watched some of your videos, by the way. Okay, I know where your viewpoint, at least as you've expressed in the videos I've watched, it's nothing new to me. Okay, in fact, the video response you made, called me an asshole to approve, specifically in this instance. I agree with that. You know what? I honestly, I have no problem with Islam. Okay, I understand that we are the United States, the Western nations have buggered up the Middle East. I know the history of it since World War II, since World War I. Since beforehand. I know about these. I know that amount of history. I read these things, okay? One of the most actually profound, what I would call a hard theist, meaning, not hard theist as in a very specific semi-fundamentalist believer in a religion. One of the most profound person of that background that I've ever spoken to was a Muslim I spoke to in Thailand. I spent a good part of an evening chatting with this guy. I thought he was an amazing person. I mean, I'm not going to convert, but his philosophy, his take on what Islam was about was completely different, and I understand that. And I've read many books on the subject and everything like that. So I'm not anti-Islam because I made okay? I am pretending to be anti-Marmoset. That is it. Okay? If for some reason I'm wrong and Variable has some deeper motivation for this, that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. Okay? And nothing in his character, nothing in anything else he's ever said would give me even one shred of belief. And so anyway, it just ticks me off. And I understand this thing. I mean, I know you think it's really, really deep and profound, that you've got this, who are the terrorists, who are the freedom fighters, and all this kind of crap, that makes you a free thinker. But I know all of that. Okay, I know that distinction. Here's something. I don't know why the fuck I'm telling you this. I worked in Nicaragua in 1988. Okay, I saw what on our news, on American news, the freedom fighters, the most negative thing our media would call them is what occasionally they would call them rebels, the Sandinista, or the Contra rebels. Most of the time they called them freedom fighters. And so you get down there and you see the destruction and the human suffering those freedom fighters caused. And it was clear they are terrorists. I know that there's this thing. I know that the terms are interchangeable, and I know that the terms depend on what side you're on. It just really ticked me off, and it's your loss, okay? Because you fucking blew it. And I know, again, Bigfoot, you don't care. That's fine. I understand that you don't give a shit, okay? I think we could have had some interesting conversations. I think if you would have approached me with 1/10 of the respect that I approach even fucking worse assholes than you, we could have engaged some discussion, and you don't have that. It's done. All right, you fucked up. All right, I wouldn't piss on you if you're on fire. I mean, you're a piece of shit. That's just nastiness. I don't know what's wrong with you. I can't even grasp what is fucking wrong with your head. To start off calling me names, attacking me, calling me stupid, insulting everything about me, because of what? Because you played some substitution game with another YouTube user, substituting something they said with something else you thought they meant, and somehow that rubs off on me and qualifies you to call me names, to tell me what to do? I mean, do you see that? Do you even begin to see how shitty that is? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. You just amaze me. So, I don't know. Fuck you. Have a fucking shitty day. Fuck off and die. Whatever. Continue making your little fucking psychedelic music videos, thinking yourself to be deep and profound. Because and by the way, one more fucking thing to say to you. Just reminded me. Talk about this. I know. I even know what you're talking about when you talk about this mythology and the origin of religion and science. Professionally, what I do professionally is I actually write science curriculum that is based upon Native American mythologies and storytelling, specifically Northwest Coast Tlingit Haida. Okay, I actually look at their stories and legends and talk to elders and put together hard science-based curricula based on their stories and legends and things like that. I know the value of religion in science, okay? There's a topic we could have had some lively discussion about. Anyway, I already said my fuck yous, so that's it.